Hi, welcome to episode 4 of A Message From. We're your hosts, Alyson and Edward. How are you doing today?
I'm here.
We're
doing
here.
my thing. I'm
We're
good.
here.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
Feeling good. Nothing too crazy has happened. So, last time we left off talking about kind of when we thought we were going to be in Paris next. You know, post-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
When would we get there?
Predictions. Yeah.
Looking deep into our crystal balls.
Yes. Actually, that's funny that you bring that up because my mother listened to the first episode and she was like, "You have tarot cards?" And I was like, "Yeah." And
yeah, of course.
then
who doesn't?
She was like, "I was so using like a crystal ball," and I was like, "It's exactly what it is. It's just like a crystal ball." Just like. Also, she told me to mention that I forgot. Well, she told me that I forgot to mention that Athens is her favorite place to want to go to.
That's important.
It's top of her list. And she was like, "You forgot to mention that." And I was like, "Well, it wasn't really pertinent to the story, but I guess it is now."
It is now because we're going to talk about post-pandemic trips. I mean, what is your dream destination once COVID is not an issue anymore?
Oh, well, that's the thing is like, obviously the timeline for this stuff, like who knows? Not I. No one knows. Not even Lord Jesus himself. Like, no one knows. It's
the
truly
timeline
out of everyone's hands.
The timeline never goes to plan. Every time I think I'm going to be able to start planning again, it just all goes down the drain.
True. This is quite the plight for most optimists. Not something that I have to deal with as a pessimist. But I think that my first, should I be realistic? Are we being realistic?
Let's do realistic and then unrealistic. Because I will say, while we're talking about Athens, Greece was my planned trip. My plan was to go end of May, like middle end of May. And I told everyone I was going. The whole world knows I'm going to Greece. So
yes. That's your realistic plan.
That's no.
Oh.
It's looking more and more unrealistic by the day, solely because I don't know if air travel to Europe from the US will be I don't even know how to say, like, back to normal, picking up.
Like, what does normal even mean anymore?
Like, valid point. I don't know if that will be feasible by middle of May.
Okay, yeah. So that's like high on your unrealistic list?
That is number 1 on my unrealistic list.
Okay, so we're doing unrealistic first.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, that's realistic for me, but it also could be unrealistic depending on how the pandemic, floats about. But I would absolutely. I think number 1 is going to be Athens as well.
We're going together.
I mean, ideally.
I already told you you're coming with me.
Yes,
like, what
you
are you
did.
doing
And I
in
was
May?
like,
Working?
I was like, working.
No, we're going to Greece. Sorry.
I would love. I mean, yeah, but that's the thing is it's a little bit more realistic for me, but also because it's so far away, like, not realistic.
Right. But
like, Paris, obviously, also very high, very realistic, much closer.
Yeah. We have high hopes for Greece. We
do
painted images in our minds of exactly what we will do and what we will wear in Greece.
I just want to wear blue overalls.
Oh my God.
White t-shirt, some sandals, sing some mamaaaaa songs, never come back to society, live on an island for the rest of my life, own a hotel.
That's the plan.
I mean,
we are
really
going
too much to ask.
to live out our mamaaaaa dreams in Greece.
Yeah, Mamaaaaa 3. It's my time. That doesn't make any sense.
It's our time.
It's our time.
Edward and Alyson take Greece.
Where would you realistically travel to, though?
Realistically? LA.
So this is domestic for you.
Domestic, yeah. LA for sure.
Isn't LA like a hellhole right now? Well, that's up. This is in the future, right? Sorry.
But realistically, I'll be going to LA at least once, if not twice this year, because my sister and her fiance, soon to be husband, live in LA. And I was supposed to go visit them a couple of times last year. Obviously, that did not work out. So this year, that'll happen. That's much more realistic.
Yeah, more realistic for you than May, Greece.
Then Greece in May. And so I'll let you go first. You do your realistic, and then I've got another long-term travel plan.
I mean, realistically, I'm just probably going to go to the beach again in Spain.
Yeah. I mean, that's
realistic,
good.
I guess, is just domestic, right?
Yeah, domestic.
I guess that would just be like the beach in Spain, which no complaints.
Oh no, that'll be nice.
There's nowhere else I can think of. I mean, like, and then my unrealistic one would be like Greece, Paris, Rome. My friend's supposed to move to London. Would love to go there.
Yeah. Speaking
Poland.
of, Poland. Yes. Speaking of Rome, speaking of Italy.
Oh, yeah.
I have been looking into my family history.
Oh my God, that's right.
Yes. So I put in a request last fall, like early October, to.
Right, you had talked about this before.
Have I talked about this before?
I thought you brought it up on the pod, like briefly. Like you had sent something in and you were just wondering where it was going.
Well, there's an update. Okay, so I emailed like the U.S. genealogy search site, which is where I put my request in. And I guess, I mean, obviously, understandably, they're behind schedule. Normally it's like 60 to 90 days. Now they're averaging like 100 to 125 days to fulfill requests.
What do you get from them?
They have a couple different searches you can do, but specifically, I'm looking for naturalization documents. So you can get any documents on record, but first they need to find the person's like special identifier number. And then through that number, they can find all of the records and documents. So I need naturalization records. My dad met up with his cousin, I believe it is. Not too long ago, and got a bunch of like marriage certificates, birth certificates, and sent all of that to me. So that's been super interesting, looking through all of that.
Oh wait, so this update, these papers aren't from the genealogical Hootiki people?
Yeah, so I submitted my request like middle of October. So hopefully within like a month or so, I should have some answers. But all of this to say, I'm doing all of this research so I can try and track some family members down in Italy, in a small town, Cervino. It's just north of Naples. So
is there still family that lives there?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, that's fun.
I have seen street names with our family name. So
that's wild.
Whatever that means. I'm projecting right now, but that's a post-pandemic trip that is in the works.
Yeah, no, that's I was gonna say, when I said Poland, it's like same lines. Like, I need to go see my family in Poland. Yeah. As soon as this is over. That's exciting though.
Very exciting.
That you're like have more information and like getting, moving along the process.
Slowly moving forward in the process.
Slowly but surely. Yeah.
Slowly but surely. Yeah, so finding out as much as I can and sort of getting this trip to Italy planned is one of my major goals for this year.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I'm currently reading a book that I actually don't know how to pronounce the title. If it's like Circe or Circe. I'm not sure.
Read that book. So incredible. I loved it.
Oh my God, it's so good. I'm so mad because I do this all the time. I rent these books from the library on my Kindle, and I'm like, I got like 21 days. Like, I'll get to it. It's like 3 days until the thing is due. I can't renew it because somebody else wants it, and I have to finish it within 3 days. This bitch is supposed to be done in like a couple of hours, and I'm not going to finish it, and I don't know when I'm going to get it again.
You're on a mad
and
dash.
I'm like only 20% of the way there. It is so good, though.
I could ship you my copy.
That seems expensive.
Well,
right?
We all know I generally have wild fiascos at the USPS. So
this is true. Wait, did you already ship my birthday present?
I did ship your birthday present.
I was gonna say you could just put it in that, but
yeah.
Never mind. No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
But
it's very good.
It's a very good book. I also don't know how to pronounce it. Circe?
I think it's Circe or like Circe or something like that. Because I also listen to a podcast about mythology from time to time, and I feel like she has said Circe.
These are the things we should look up before we start recording a podcast.
I know, and I should just straight up just Google it while I'm reading it, but I didn't do that like a little dum-dum, so.
CBA.
That's where I'm at.
So.
But, yeah, that's what I'm currently reading, but I'm not going to finish it, which.
So what's your reading goal for the year? Do you set reading goals?
Yes, because I use Goodreads to like track my shit.
Yes.
But on Goodreads, I failed my reading goal for 2020, which surprising because I didn't go anywhere for so long.
We had so much time.
So much time. And yeah, I was behind probably by like 3 books, but it was only 24 books because I had done 1 book a month for 2019, and like that was fine. Did more than that. And I was like, okay, I can do like 2 books a month because I like bought the Kindle, yada, yada, yada. And I was like short. So I'm repeating this year. I want to read 24 books this year, 2 per month. I finished 1.
That's good.
So I'm behind on 1 because January's over.
I have had almost the same exact story. So my reading goal in 2019. Yeah. And my reading goal in 2019 was 35 books. I fell just short. So it's basically.
By how many? Like 1?
No, by like 3 or 4. I mean, it basically works out to 3 books a month, except February is 2 books a month. Shorter month by 2 days, but still.
Right.
So I rolled that reading goal over to 2020, and I actually killed it. I read more than 35 books last year. So I said, yes. So I decided to just keep the goal the same this year. 35 books. I'm a little bit behind schedule. I'm only on my 2nd book right now. 3rd book. No, I'm on my 3rd book.
I feel like you like the way I did it where I was like, oh, I'll double it. Like, I don't know if you could read more than like consistently read every year, like more than 35, more than 40, more than like 45.
I don't think it's possible, especially because I read The Economist as well. So that comes every week. It's too much. I don't have time to get through that every week and read books every week. I wish I could, but I can't. Yeah.
I get like a GQ once every like 7, 8 months, and I read like 1 article in it. That's it.
Yeah. And I try to read all the articles, but it takes me some time. So right now,
those are like not easy reads. Like these are like interviews with like dumb actors.
Yeah, no, they're
reading,
not
like legitimate.
They're not easy reads, but I find them interesting. So I got through them.
Well, that's what's important.
And
I also find mine interesting. They're just not highbrow.
For different reasons. They have usually really good book recommendations in The Economist. They have like an arts and books section. Books and arts. I don't know what it's called. But they do have some really good reading recommendations, actually. And I mean, yeah. I just finished reading Homebody by Rupi Kaur. I don't know if you've read any of her poetry, but
no, but I've seen it on the internet.
Oh, it's absolutely incredible. Obviously, it's much more geared towards women. I mean, it's her life experiences, but I would recommend.
I'm not really a poetry person. Is it poetry?
It is, but it's not what you're thinking.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's not like when someone says poetry, you get kind of like that Shakespearean, like, I don't know. When someone says poetry, I don't get excited. But when someone says like Rupi Kaur,
never.
It's great. It's powerful. It's passionate. It's really good. So I just finished reading Homebody. She also has Milk and Honey, and then The Sun and Her Stars, I believe it is. They're all really good.
Oh. I don't know if I'll ever read those, to be quite honest. But
you're not the audience for it.
True. It's not made for me. I have realized that like a lot of the books that I was reading last year, it was like not because I wanted to, because I felt like I had to. So it was hard for me to get through. Mm-hmm. And so finally, like, I start reading this book that we don't know how to pronounce the title of. And I was like, I had sped through like 6 chapters because I was like, I actually enjoy this. So I just got to like find tailor what I'm looking for here.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shall we take a break and then get into our message?
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Perf. See you after the break.
Welcome back. So earlier I mentioned that my realistic trip post-pandemic will be to go to LA to visit my sister and her fiance. Mm-hmm. And our message today is from my sister Jackie. So
yay, Jackie.
Yes. We'll read her message and get into it. So she sent us a message on Instagram that says, "My fiance and I are about to make a decision on a honeymoon location. We've been really struggling to decide what is most important to us. We thought we really loved Barbados, maybe for the overall adventure. It just seems pretty and fun. But we got a recommendation from a travel agent on Jamaica. Negril has beautiful long beaches, not super close to the airport, and is substantially cheaper. It's really pretty too. So now that we've decided to likely go that route, we're trying to decide on resorts. Does it make most sense to stay at a cheaper resort? The beaches are the same. Or are rooms more important? Is a young, vibrant crowd or somewhere quieter better? Should we make it a point to pick a room that comes with extra amenities like room service, or is that a waste of money? What are your thoughts?" So, I mean, this message, first of all, thanks for sending us a message. You will get your postcards.
Thanks, Jackie. Postcard for Jackie.
Yes, postcard for Jackie.
You only have like 98 postcards left? Yeah.
Slowly working through them. Yeah. But this is a really interesting question because people have very different travel styles. And
oh, yeah.
If you're getting advice from someone who has a very different travel style from you, you know, their interests are going to be completely different from what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, like, for me personally, I'm, like, looking at, obviously, this is, like we've said from the top, like, post-pandemic. I don't, you know, like, assuming, I don't know, like, all that travel stuff, clearly we can't do now.
Yes.
But post-pandemic life, for me, like, I'm looking at, like, what did she say? She says, is a young, vibrant crowd or somewhere quieter better? I'm like, no one should be around me. I want it to be dead ass quiet.
Same.
Especially, like, I imagine on a honeymoon, like, I mean, ideally you're somewhere that is quiet and you can go to the fun, vibrant places and absolutely leave when you want to get the fuck away from all those loud people. That's
what I'm thinking. So this is what I'm picturing in my mind. I, of course, obviously prefer quieter. I'm not into super crazy nightlife. That's not my vibe. But I'm thinking, like, you have your wedding. It's this big, huge celebration. It's busy. You've been planning for a year. So much is going on. It's wild. Everyone's competing for your attention. After that, you probably just kind of want to relax. You want, like, a quiet, calm place to sit back, and you want to be kind of, like, close enough. Like you said, you can go to the party if you want something fun and exciting, but then you can come back to your room, or maybe like a private patio, a private area on a beach where it's quiet, calm, relaxing. I'm assuming like room service or at least, you know, food delivery on, if you're at a resort, on the grounds would be important.
Oh yeah, I imagine. I mean, like, I have truly never. I lived in a resort technically in Cannes.
You did.
But I've never actually like been to like a resort on holiday. So I have no idea what this is really even like. But you have, right? No. Yes?
No.
Maybe.
So I went on a cruise once, and I feel like that was the closest I got to the whole all-inclusive vibe. Like,
yeah,
you're stuck on the ship until you're in port. But it's that same sort of thing. Like, everything you need is right there.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, like, I'm assuming you're going to want amenities, right? But you're right. That's a very good point, being like, you just had a wedding where everyone is like all up in your shit. Mm-hmm. Literally, it's all about you and the person you're getting married to.
Right. And
like, it's like not just a break from that, but like a break from your whole spiel back wherever you're from.
Mm-hmm. Work.
Right. So like I'm work, like all the rest of your personal life that you probably just want to take a break from. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm assuming you just want to like relax, but then again, maybe you're not that couple that wants to relax and you like to have a good time and you want to be out with people. So maybe, I guess it depends on you and the person.
It definitely does. And I think this is a little bit easier because this is a message from my sister. So I know her really well. And
yeah, this is true.
You know, she's not looking to go on a hike every day and find some new rainforest waterfall. Absolutely gorgeous. You know, maybe that's like a one-time thing, but you know, I think having a nice, quiet, comfortable, relaxing environment is important.
For sure. And I mean, that's what I would want to do.
Yeah, me too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good hike, but not every day. I don't want to be surrounded by like hustle and bustle every day.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe on a honeymoon. I mean, I'm just thinking of trips in general. I'm like, I do like going to cities more than I do on like, you know, beach
vacations.
But I've been doing more beach vacations recently, and I really do enjoy it because I didn't grow up going to the beach a lot.
See, we grew up going to the beach twice a year. You know, we'd go for spring break. We'd spend a few weeks in the summer on the beach just hanging out and relaxing. And I absolutely love that. That's a really great vacation to me. But also, I'm much more into traveling to new places that I haven't been. And, you know, going to the cities, going to the museums, seeing all of that stuff. So, I mean, that's my personal, like, travel style.
Right. No, that makes sense. I know, I'm thinking about it. You had said the hiking thing, and you were like, yeah, I like to go hiking. And I was like, oh, I go hike like once every 2-3 years. But then I forgot that the only trip, well, not the only trip, obviously we went to Paris, talked about that episode, but like the trip that we went on when we lived together, the only other trip we've been on together was to Italy, and we hiked a shite ton.
Yeah, we hiked every day.
Well, I guess we hiked like one day, but it felt like a lot.
It was a lot of walking. It was a long hike.
It was a long hike.
It was like, what, 2-3 hours?
I don't know, but we played that whole game where you go through the alphabet and you have to remember what everybody said. We did the whole thing.
The whole thing.
And then we had time to spare.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That was a long
We did
hike.
do that.
It was fun, though.
But, I mean, so like you...
I think we have to consider...
You've never been to a resort. Have you been to an island?
I've been to islands, but only when I was on the cruise.
Oh, okay.
So I've never been to Jamaica. I have been to Barbados, but I was just there for a day. So I think the first thing to consider is that this is a honeymoon. I think that is a different vibe than a different sort of trip.
Right. I feel like that in itself already sets the tone of a trip.
Yes. And I did a little recon. I talked to a friend who's from Jamaica. Yes. Shout out to my friend Mark. Hopefully he's listening. And And I got some tips.
Okay.
So,
what did Mark
because
say?
you know, Jamaica's an island, like you said, and there are rainforests and waterfalls. There's this place called the Blue Hole, which is like what you would imagine, like this big, beautiful. No, I don't know if it's big, but you know, like a lagoon, like the big, beautiful blue like lagoons, like gorgeous water. Like you can hike there. So there's all this stuff you can do. He mentioned Margaritaville, so like obviously like crazy party bar.
Is that in Jamaica?
Yeah, there's a Margaritaville in Jamaica.
How many Margaritavilles are there?
I mean, what else does Jimmy Buffett do? Like,
I don't know. I didn't even
around
know.
the world.
Oh, okay. So there's like more than, it's like a Hard Rock Cafe.
Yeah, I think it's like that.
Oh, I'm learning so much.
Yeah. So apparently if you go to like Ocho Rios, which is on the northern coast of Jamaica, you have all those waterfalls, the lagoons. There's Margaritaville. There's tons of shopping. He mentioned like Dunn's River Falls, which is gorgeous. I looked up a few pictures of that. It's nice that there's all of this stuff around that you can do, but I don't think I'd want to be right in the middle of it, you know?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I think
you want to be able to go to it, but not
exactly
be there, like we've said.
Like, if you're interested in doing all of that stuff every day, then a cheaper room with like no or few amenities makes sense, because you're always going to be on the go.
Oh yeah, duh. I don't even know.
But if you don't want to venture out every day, if you don't want to be like on the go all the time, then I think you splurge on the nicer room and the extra amenities.
Yeah, I guess you're just determining then where you'd rather spend your money.
Exactly.
Out and about or like at your room.
Yeah.
You could be spending the money anyway.
Right. So.
True.
He also did give me a few tips on some of the nicer, like all-inclusive resorts, which I think is kind of the vibe that they'd be going for. I mean, at least for me. You know, like I said, after such a busy,
you planning
hectic
your sister's
time,
honeymoon.
Yeah. You may want to, I don't know, just relax, and like you have the option to go out and find shopping, or to, you know, book a trip to a waterfall in the rainforest. But what happens when you want to sleep in and just roll out of bed and like go to the beach and have someone bring you amazing food and drinks? So
truly.
Right?
God, I would love that.
Yeah, so he
I'm
mentioned
like jealous.
Right. It sounds so nice right now.
Oh, it sounds so nice.
Yeah, so he mentioned a couple of resorts that he knows are really nice. And this wasn't really in the message. She wasn't requesting us to give resort recommendations, but I'm going to do it anyway.
But this shows how we love to go above and beyond for our listeners and those who send us messages. We don't just send them a postcard back. We do the research for them.
We put in the work.
Yeah, okay. Well, you did this time.
I put in the work.
You put in the work. You found someone who's from there. You got that local hot tip, and you Googled, I'm assuming. You asked Jeeves.
Yeah. I asked Jeeves.
Yeah.
I flew back to 1995 and asked.
Jeeves was around in like 2003, 2004, right?
Yeah. But he gave me a couple of names of really nice resorts as well. And I mean, I think the really nice thing about these is they're all inclusive, but they're adults only. There are no kids running around screaming, splashing you in the pool.
Disgusting children.
Right. Like, so nice. I think that's key. So.
Clutch. Absolutely key.
Right. So we have
Nobody
the Hyatt Resort in Montego Bay. So, sounds nice. Looks pretty.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know anything about this other than it sounds nice, yeah.
This next one sounded really nice to me. So, Excellence of Oysters Bay. It's on a private peninsula. So yeah, private peninsula.
What does that even mean?
On Montego Bay. I looked at the map, and it's just like, I guess the whole little peninsula is theirs.
Oh.
So I'm like,
the resorts.
Yeah. So it's still on
Excellence
Montego
of
Bay.
oysters.
Yes, excellent.
Have you ever had an oyster?
Oysters Bay.
Have you ever eaten an oyster?
Okay. Sidebar.
Oh.
I
Oh,
always
boy.
forget. Coquille Saint-Jacques. What is that? Is that an oyster or a mussel?
I don't even know what that is. I don't know what that is.
It's like the traditional French, like they cook Coquille Saint-Jacques for like holidays.
Hold on. You keep vamping and I'll Google Cookie Saint-Jacques.
Cookie, like shell, you know? Coquille.
No. I thought it was conch or something like that, right?
COQUILLES.
Oh, coquille. Oh,
Coquille.
duh. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Is it a clam or an oyster or a mussel?
It says wait, shallot is a
onion.
That's not a seafood. Thank you. It's an onion. It's a scallops.
Oh, okay. So none of the above. I've eaten a scallop. I've never eaten an oyster.
Okay, well.
Do you like oysters?
I've never had an oyster, but they seem very luxe. People love them.
True. So maybe
Sorry,
Excellence of
sidebar.
Oysters Bay is the place to go.
I know. I'm wondering how excellent these oysters of Bay are, or of excellence.
I
In the Bay.
maybe one day we'll find out.
True.
But
Sponsor us.
so the final resort recommendation is the Trident Hotel in Port Antonio. And
Big Poseidon vibes.
This one by far was like the swankiest.
Okay.
Like super swanky. It's on the northeast coast, which is
swankier than the excellence of oyster.
Yes, I think so. Because listen to this. Apparently the northeast coast is referred to as the Jamaican Riviera. You know how much
things are called the Riviera.
we love a Riviera.
Love when things are called the Riviera.
Love a Riviera. So, and I mean, there's the usual, you know, like you have beaches, waterfalls, caves, rainforests nearby.
You know, the
So,
usual.
the usual. Just to hop
they have
over
no
to the
excellence of
waterfall and the
oysters.
rainforest.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So it's close by to all the fun, exciting adventure stuff, but you also still get that very relaxing, calm, private, adults only vibe.
Oh, iconic. The whole adults only thing. That in itself is excellence.
It's worth it.
10 out of 10. Well, your sister has to write back to us with her plans, or if we helped, or if we didn't help. Maybe she was like, oh yes, and listens to this, and then it's just like, no, I don't want to do any of those things. It's complete
That's a good point. We're gonna need a follow
Still
up.
helpful.
Has any of this been helpful?
Exactly. So whenever that timeline is, no idea. But she will be receiving her postcard because you also have her address. Yes. She's your sister.
I also have her address, so I will be sending out the postcards this weekend.
True. I wonder which one she'll get because there are 5 types.
There are 5 types.
Oh, so exciting. The intrigue, the mystery.
Which will you get?
True. Well, that's it for today. Can no, not you. Can the people, the listeners, leave us a review? That would be lovely. We would very much appreciate that. Pretty please.
Please leave us a review.
And if you want to receive a postcard / leave us a message, but we all know you're here for the postcards, you can call us at 202-630-4509 or email us at a message from postcards@gmail.com or the Google form or the Instagram DM, like really whatever the hell you want to do. Just do not text me personally. Don't do that.
We are available on so many platforms.
But not through our personal numbers.
But not our personal phone numbers. No, thank you.
No. All right, Miss Alyson. Time to go.
It's been fun. Thanks for joining us.
Yes. Bye.
Bye.